Really tempted to call here. What are you repping, buddy? What are you repping? Kings doesn't jam. King Queen suited, called an open from a short stack, and I'm gonna go for a check back. Wouldn't mind bet. Pretty strong to open off like 11 big blinds. I'm not expecting very many folds. And then 3 big blinds I can call. Doesn't feel amazing, but not folding to whoever's in an open end up. And the queen could be a pretty terrible card. Yeah, I don't think I'm good here. So I'm gonna fold. Pretty hard to find bluffs for that line with that stack. Interesting hand potentially developing in the 1k over here. And could see that. Gonna start with a check. Ace Queen's gonna definitely call here. Just being ahead of all of the draws. Good shot to the nuts. Pretty nice. 9's a pretty bad card. Queen 10 gets there. Queen 9, 10 9, 10 8, 8 9. Like pretty much everything improves to a hand better than mine. And interacting with the Queen 10, I'm definitely going to bluff this one. It's just choosing a size. And I think pot does pretty good. King Queen being my worst value bet here, I think. Want to check the flop. Obviously, I can still have Ace King. I can still have King Queen. This hand matches nicely with those. And they call, they call. Nice. Then Queen 10 offsuit. Gonna start betting the turn. With the Queen of Spades in my hand. And 2 overs. Over here with pocket sixes, just gonna call. Ace on the river is a pretty disaster card. Facing check back, call turn bet. It's just pretty horrendous. So if I want to bet the river, I want to say that either I was stabbing with like Ace Queen, Ace Jack, and I'm value betting, or I'm saying I got a 7, so I want to be super polar. But I don't think it makes sense with this hand. 10 of diamonds is okay, but I think I want a little bit more interaction around my opponent's 7x if I want to be polar here. So yeah, we're reopening the action there. I think big is the size. Flop the set over here, calling it open with pocket 5s in the 215. Love to see it. Question is, do I raise now? I think I do. I do raise now. Starting with about Ace Jack, having some gut shots in there. Gonna have pocket queens here as well. It's going to be hard for him to bet fold a hand like King Queen, Ace King, as well as all the 1 pair hands. Now, I'm going to start polarizing my range. I think pot gets it done here. Yeah. Obviously, if my opponent has jacks or 10s, he's going to get my stack almost every time. Now, King Queen does get there on the river, which is quite a prevalent hand in both ranges, but pocket 9s doesn't exist, and now there is Jack 9 suited, which improves to a hand that won't fold. Jack 10 suited still won't fold. Overpair's still going to struggle, especially kings and queens blocking the straight. And versus donk jam, pretty interesting. Obviously I'm calling, but pretty suspicious of what this might be. He's got it. He's got the king queen. Well, he was getting my stack no matter what. I don't know if that was the best way of doing it. I mean, if I have like 8-9 there, or if I have queen 9, I'm going to bluff jam. So I think him not giving me the opportunity to bluff jam myself is a mistake. I mean, if I have pocket queens, he blocks that. That's probably going to play that way, and then maybe check the river. Yeah, I think that donk jam is a pretty big blunder. Facing a bet so small, I'm not going to fold with my over and a gut shot. There it is. Going to lead. This is my card. You don't have 6-7 suited. You don't have 6-7 off. You don't turn 2 pair very often. Pretty much never. Turn top 2 here. Call pre, check raise the flop. I'm going to check the turn. Having so much interaction with the board. Defend my 8x. So obviously I will have some check jams here, but not very many. Hopefully we're just against the ace jack to ace king that goes for value, or maybe a king queen that floated the flop that now bluffs. Holding it open over here with the queen 9 suited in the World Series. Facing an all-in is going to be a very easy call hit. 2 pair. Nice. We induced the bluff. Love to see it. Ace jack offsuit here with 34 big blinds. Ace 9 here facing 7.4 big blind jam. Very easy call. Should be ahead most of the time. Not this time. Oh, I was briefly ahead then. Oh, what? Wow. What a sick river. What a sick run out and a sick river. I was paying attention over here. Oh, and I just pinged a jack on the river. Wow. This is sick. This is really sick. Ace queen suited over here. And it's just whether to get it in now or to call. And I'm going to start with call in position. Flop the nut flush draw. Love to see it. And don't see any reason to raise yet. My ace high can be good. Interesting spot here with the ace 8 suited. 4.4 big blind jam. And then a click. Not sure. Not sure what to do here. Checking back the ace queen suited. It feels like I'm ahead a lot, but I'm going to let it go. Not sure. Okay, good fold. Good fold. And we face a jam on the river. And I do block aces and ace king, which are the main hands that are good. I guess pocket jacks as well. Really tempted to call here. What are you repping, buddy? What are you repping? Kings doesn't jam. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Wanted to call though with ace high. Didn't want to get it wrong, being chip leader. Didn't want to throw away my chip lead for a hero call, but felt like I was good there. Might just always be pocket jacks, but yeah, I guess this tournament's pretty soft. Don't need to make these big hero calls. Still 1 of 15 by folding. And just 14 players left now in this $25 tournament. I'm going to see that this spot. In fact, yes, I am. I think at this stacked pot, my pocket jacks are happy to go broke, which means I can start with c-bet. Makes sense to size up on this board, being 7 high. Defending the king 5 off over here. Gonna be going broke on this board. Just gonna check raise. Be ready to jam any turn. And have to call it off now. In the 1k WCOOP bounty, hopefully ahead, but only 63%. And 65% going to the river, so I'm going to bust this tournament about 34% of the time. Can we have a hold, please, dealer? No ace, no 9, no heart. Beautiful. Just beautiful. Back to what looks like above starting stack. No, about starting stack, 51 big blinds. Pocket 5s on the button. Facing a raise at this depth, I think, is a pure call. Wouldn't be surprised if a solver throws in some free bets sometimes. But then having to call the all-in, of course, when you free bet a pair less than 40 bigs deep. Oh yeah, that is a humongous jam. And it gets called. Love to see what he's got here. Probably ace queen. Maybe jack 10 suited, maybe ace king. Ace queen suited. Yeah, I don't like that. Especially with ace queen suited, I think. Yeah, I really don't like that. I think you squeeze and then if you get jammed on, you have to call it off, but you don't want to deter the situation of you squeeze, opponent calls, that I call, or this player calls, or both of us call, and then ace queen suited playing against ranges you do really well against. You don't want to deny that situation. Ace queen offsuit, fair enough. Ace queen suited too strong there to just rip it. Pretty nice. Bit of equity here. Call and then check call the flop with 6-8 of hearts. Facing a turn bet, just deciding between call and jam. I'm going to call. And do I want to have donks? I mean, obviously I have more 4x. I do interact with 4x, 8-4 hearts, 8-6 of hearts. But it's only a 4 I'm going to represent, unless I donk for a small size and say I could have a 10. Don't expect him to bet. Nah, I'm not going to do it. Not with this hand, but might be some leading on the river here going on. Checking with the ace-9 of hearts after calling an open pre. Check back is my license now to go broke. Say, if you got it, you got it. I want to play for stacks now. This stack pot ratio. Big fold. Ace king here, going for a free bet. Just entered this $11 WCOOP. Pretty nice board for me as the free bet I hit. We'll start with quarter pot. Facing the jam here with pocket sixes, pretty easy call. Hopefully win the flip. Nice. Just deciding what to do here with ace king on the turn. Given there's no flush draw, I don't think I want to jam. I think I want to go for another small bet. Does 20% pot work nicely here? A little bit more. I think quarter pot again. Come with this. Nice. Yeah, it's just hard to have bluff jams on the turn there, so wherever I want to draw the line with my value, I think wants to choose small size again. Pretty tough spot here with pocket eights. I'm not going to fold. Probably fold sevens. Yeah. Okay. Bigger side pot against the pocket sixes, so once we hold there, we're in a good spot. Nice. We'll take the side pot there. Ace jack on the button. Just going to flat versus a cutoff here. Good free bet. And that is a good flop for ace jack, if ever I have seen one. Yeah, I'm facing a bet. Definitely would. I mean, yeah, I don't want to raise this spot very often. At least not. It doesn't really make too much sense to me. Gonna go for 2 streets now. Now the question is, do we play for it all? I think we don't. Just gonna start with half pot again. Interesting spot developing in the WSOP. I'll swap back to the ace jack. I'll show you the call if someone calls. I call an open. Now I'm gonna call a bet. See that's 1/3 into 2. And he ran out of time against the ace jack, which is good for him in this case. Ace queen, gonna be all in here, facing a button free bet. King 10, facing a big bet on the turn, now becomes a bluff catcher in multi-way. Pretty trivial fold. Got plenty of better hands to continue with that. Ace 4 spades here, gonna be an open. King jack, offsuit here, gonna free bet. 10-9 offsuit in the WSOP. Pretty easy to defend, especially against this particular player, who is very fun. Fine as an overcall too. And gonna call the free bet with ace 4 suited. Or do I jam? See if this low free bet frequency, so I'm not gonna jam. And flop 2 pair is nice. Flop top pair with the jack. And a gut shot over here. Pretty close. Gonna peel one. Given that it's a rainbow board, so we've got 8 clean outs to the nuts. 5 is really good for me. I mean, I don't like bluffing against a whale. I really don't, but let's just go for half pot and fold in my face high. Not try targeting pocket pairs. I would jam there a lot, but I just can't see this guy folding like queens enough of the time. I mean, ace high, nice part of the range to target, so just do that. Nice to get a bluff for it. King jack, can we be good? Yes, nice. Could have got another street if the turn was a bit more favorable there, but we'll take that. Ace 4 takes it down. Queen 8 suited hit, flopping trips. And versus check back. Gonna claim for a big bet. And my opponent doesn't bet this board as the opener. They're telling me that they have a medium strength hand. Like ace high. Even pocket pairs just want to bet. Now, they should have hit this ace X a lot, but I'm going to do the jamming myself. Ace is never going to fold. Should have an ace a lot. Yep. Jack 5 suited here. Easy defend, especially versus min raise. I think this play should be sizing up against our stacks, but thank you for the better price. And on that turn, gonna overbet. Could overbet queen, could overbet 6. Just want to make sure I clear out my jack X. And face the snap fold. Yep, this is a board my opponent I think should range bet in this dynamic, so I imagine it's not going to be a strong hand when they check back. Opening the button with 8-9 off it. Should min raise, given the stacks. Board for me. Sizing up to a third. Interesting spot over here. Because normally I'd limp raise, get it in. So now it's, do I want to open? Open, get free bet and still rip. Yeah, I think ace king suited is still going in here. Just going to start with an open. We are pretty deep. Well in the turn with the 8-9 off, turn in the double gutter. We're going to start with a check. Easy call versus the 2 big blind stab. 2 overs, backdoor nut flush draw. And can lead this card a lot, especially against the small flop bet from my opponent, which is what I'm going to do. Lead for half pot. I have way more ace X. I open and I check call. And then the 10's pretty awkward because I don't really have a 10 in the line I've taken. So it's whether to now continue to bet or to check and induce some bluffs by my opponent. If I check, I can't have a fold. I do have the best ace. Don't really want my opponent to find a check back if they do have an ace. Obviously, I block it. So yeah, interesting spot. I've decided it is a mix. So what do I feel like against this guy? Well, he seems kind of passive. So I think that's my license to go for a bet myself. And face a raise. Just gonna have to fold. Ace, queen turn, okay. So if I checked, I would have called. So I just put what I think my hand was worth, about 40% pot. Beautiful time to find kings here. Gonna start with a limb. Jump. Thank you, sir. Queen 9. Okay. Wow, I turned a double gutter. Give me a sweat. The button here with 10-7 suited. Stab the flop. Gonna check the turn. And dicey, dicey, dicey. I do obviously barrel a lot with my flush draws, so let's just stab half pot. Let's see what happens. Feels like I'm low down enough that I want to bluff this, and half pot allows me to have a wider bluffing range, wider value betting range. 3-bet jamming sevens into the ace king. And this is a pretty huge flip. Can we hold? Hold? Yes, big hold. Very big hold. Got a flat with fives. On the FT here. Call an open with 8-7 suited. Go for a small stab, get check raised. Pretty strange, especially for a small size. Obviously just calling with my hand. Open the ace-10 suited here. Get a king-jack for rainbow board. Gotta go for a small c-bet. And pocket fives here is going to call versus the back jam. Fortunately, run into sixes. Calling again with the 8-7 open ender. And brick the river. Facing the check, I think I would like to bluff this hand because I don't know where else I'm going to find bluffs from. But then the question is, do I get enough folds against a whale? Not confident with that, but I am confident that I have loads of 6x and I have loads of flushes, and I'm struggling to find bluffs that don't have a pair. So I'm going to bluff this time. Also blocking 6-7 suited and 8-6 suited seems like it's a little bit relevant. So yeah, I'm going to bluff jam this river. Wish me luck. Love to see it. I'm going to show. Oh, I missed the show. Don't really show bluffs, but I feel like it's not a guy I plan on bluffing very often, so I think it would have been a good show. Very interesting dynamic here with the ace-king. Yeah, I'm going to actually 3-bet, call it off. Even though this guy's pretty short, I do think ace-king is still strong enough to do that. Start with a 3-bet. If we face the jam, I have to call. Ace-jack suited. Going to start with a limp. Don't want to play for stacks here. My opponent hasn't exactly been too aggressive. A few interesting spots happening at the same time here. King 10 suited is pretty awkward. Fold over here. Limp call 3.5. Check call the flop. Gonna be checking with the ace-jack. My opponent can show down a hand like ace high. Strange line. Strange line. Barrels the turn surely with a king, and like this is saying he has a queen, but we block queen jack, we block ace queen. Probably doesn't necessarily value bet with a different one. Pull in over here. I think I'm going to hero with ace high. Nice hold there. Going to be all in the WSOP. And yeah, I think ace high is too good here. It's good blockers. Is it a queen? No, it's 10-3 off. Thank you, kind sir. I'm going to be at risk here against two players. And wow, that's as bad as it gets. Ace jack against ace king and pocket jacks. We are dead. So dead. 3 outs. I mean, 3 outs is a little bit of hope. It would be absolutely miraculous if we survived this hand. Stories will be written about it for years to come. And that does not do it as expected. All in over here. Ace 10 suited against ace 9 off. Fortunately, won't be winning a bracelet in this event. And ace queen over here on the final table. Very easy call, of course, versus all in. Ace 6 offsuit, okay. And that's a bad turn. King's in the 6. Can't get back there. But if there is a player that we're happy to give chips, I think this is that man. You can get offsuit. Facing the 3x open. It's just going to be a call. Back to the final table. Ace 3 suited. Thanks for the follow. Flop the nut flush draw here on the final table. Gonna have to peel 1 with a king 8. Facing a c-bet. Not gonna bluff yet. Pocket kings in the 1k satellite. I think I should bluff now. Just choose half pot. See what happens. Go through. Nice. On final, went for the check flop. I went for the check call on the turn. Now river in the ace. And obviously easy call. Once I river the ace, blocking my opponent's ace-x. Pretty thin bet there. No, it's not that thin actually, but kind of thin. Flip to the set. C-bet win. Look at eights facing open. Probably could jam, but don't need the variance. Start with call. Always check raise in this board, and now always going for two big streets. Slouching back. It's just not going to be a better hand than pocket eights. Queen does hit my opponent sometimes. And queen, ace queen. But pocket five still there, 4x still there, ace high still there. Just going to block the river. Gives my opponent a tough time with his range. Obviously, easy decision if he has a queen or a flush, but it's not going to happen too often. Ace king high calls. I think block was pretty good there. Ace deuce here. I wouldn't be surprised if this hand could just jam, but like I said, I don't need the variance. Just because it's profitable doesn't mean it's the best thing to do. It's in this guy free that much. This is actually a really nice spot and hand to 4-bet bluff, but I haven't seen him do this yet, so I'm going to believe him. If there was a reg 4-bet bluff there a lot with ace 2 off. So this jack 10 offsuit is clearest a chip EV call, and we'll make chips. We'll make money if I call. But I don't want to. I'm happy with him to take my one big blind because I'm making so many chips here. But just raise take, raise take, raise take. We're just grinding these two down. If I can create some separation with this guy, it'd be pretty nice. But just don't need to do it. I'd rather him actually still be here. I mean, I don't want to take advantage of my opponent sitting out, but I also just gotta play my hand. Obviously, I can't be using my time bank because I don't exactly have that much time left. So I will take a little bit of time, but and the back, nice. Pocket tens, just gonna call, given the other stacks. No need to go crazy. Easy call. And just gonna block a river. Could value bet even a 2. Definitely value bet with a 4. Make piece high quite indifferent on the river. I mean, my exact hand could go bigger, but just going in for a small bet there makes sense when my opponent checks about the turn. Gonna be all in at the final table. Pocket tens against the ace 8. Can we get him this time? And we're all in the deep run over here as well. Pocket sevens against sevens and ace 10. Wow. Dead on the turn. Pretty brutal. Pretty brutal. Just gonna check what I cash for here. Like 360. Ace 3. Cover my opponent. Gonna attack a lot. Heads up now. With pretty even stack against a player I don't really know. I'm gonna start limping with a hand that's really weak. See if my opponent lets me get away with it. Probably gonna play mostly low variance against this player. We'll see. Yeah, I'm not folding a pat at this point. When the flop goes check check and the river pairs the board. It's just too hard to have a better hand than a pair that. E9 suited here. Just gonna peel. Maintain the low variance strategy. Easy call versus the half pot. Note that he does have a smaller size, but sized up. Could mean something. And check back. Tells me I've got the best hand. And I think my hand is actually very strong versus bet check on this run out. So I'm going to go big, and there's a lot of potential gut shots and bluffs and stuff around. Fold is okay. Ace deuce. This guy does seem to be free betting quite a lot now. All in on the bubble here with queens. Guess this is going to be more important. Ace queen. Can we have a hold, please? Hold. Thank you. I was thinking about 4-betting with the ace deuce off, but the queen's hand distracted me somewhat. Raise calling and all in over here. Some interesting hands at the same time again. And attacking on the bubble here. Defend jack six suited. Check call. Ace jack beats my ace 10. I think we just showdown with the jack six suited. Hopefully showdown versus just a 9. Would expect 10x to mainly barrel the turn and flushes. So unless it's like 9-10 or 10-8, it's pretty hard for him to have anything here. I think I'm going to hero block with 5-6 suited. Yeah, I think there's too much air and he's not going to value that. An ace is probably thinly enough, often enough. 10-7. He turned the straight. Check back. Wow. Okay. Start with a small c-bet. Call the check raise with the ace of hearts. And if he lets me, he'll be facing an all-in. I like his bet size on the turn, but I don't know if it matches with the range he's actually using, because he's supposed to have Jack X as well. So it is tempting to raise, but I mean, I don't think I was a bit deeper. I think I'd raise more. Now I'm just going to call. Now, it could be interesting on the river. Now all the gut shots miss, and the boats are blocked. 2 pairs and everything blocked. And he doesn't go for the lot. So yeah, the size down on the turn, and then 3/4 on the river. Telling me you've got flush, I think, but then why not just jam? Yeah, I don't think a queen is doing this, which the turn size was like I'm either nudging or I have a flush. So now he's saying he has a flush. My ace of hearts, very relevant, because obviously the nut flush draws are going to raise the flop pretty aggressively. So then it's just, I lose obviously to 5-6 of hearts, but then might size up the turn, a bit of a vulnerable flush. I think the nut flush is the main hand that makes sense. So I actually think I want to call with this ace high. 5-2 is a bluff, ace 5, ace 2, 5-7, 5-6. I don't think he bluffs with a pair. I think I am going to hero. I mean, the last hero was wrong, which is a bit demoralizing. Then make another hero call again, but I think on the free I just call. Yeah, obviously it could be like 4-3. Could be 4-3, jack free. Just mean raise call pre. A decent amount of flushes. Yeah, I'm going to call. Visa. Unfortunate. I mean, maybe this is the guy that's just not finding the bluffs, but I was curious. We're going to need a 9 or a 2, or we're going to finish in second place. No dice. Well, we'll play to him. Second for $3,200 roughly. I'll take that from $25. A7 gonna raise because of these 2 stacks. One play for this guy's $30 bounty. Pocket kings, I will be mixing check on this board so deep. And turning the third nuts, going to start with a half pot bet. Rivering the second nuts. Again, just going to go for half pot. Treat it like I've got. Even a hand like pocket nines. Take this line. Jump back, half pot, half pot. Nice. A7 offsuit. Flop 2 pair. Gone for the second bet. We'll check what we got heroed by. Check raise. I mean, I think we just stick it in. I think we just stick it in. It's probably got ace-2, right? I don't think people find bluffs very often. Obviously, could be the 3-5, but you got it, sir. Ace-2, ace-4. 5-3, he's got it. He's got the 5-3. 5-3 suited. Yeah. Yeah. It's just starting to get exciting. Defend it to pen 7 hit. Just gonna stab small on the turn. Lots of air is gonna be folded out. Cashed for $68 here. Gone forward the queens. Pre-flop. I don't like that. I mean, ace king still goes, so unless they're both in, can't fold. Oh, they're both in. Oh, what do we do with queens here? What do we do with queens here? 60 to win. 230. Got 30-second time bank. Okay, let's think about this. So, this guy's range should be ace king, queens, maybe. Probably not jacks. It's queens plus ace king. And this person's range is also going to be like ace king, and even like queens might contemplate folding there from this player as well. So I think it's too often I'm against kings and aces from one player. Like, but they could both have ace king, right? Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna fold. Don't both have ace king. What the? What on earth has just happened? What? Excuse me? Excuse me, sir? Was that queen 2 suited and ace jack suited? What? I just folded queens to these guys. Oh my. Oh my. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable. That hand has it's affected me. It has affected me. Can't believe it. I can't believe it. Ace jack suited just got it in really good there. By 5 betting and getting caught. Very entertaining though, playing the $55 hyper. If anyone ever tells you it's not a good tournament, please just show them this. King queen. Gonna peel. Yeah, gonna peel, just try and flop a pair. And that will do it. That's as good as it gets. Are we gonna run into the aces dense free bet range from the small blind here? Definitely not when he jams, because aces would small bet. I think this tells me I should have the best hand. Pocket nines. Okay. Thank you for jamming the flop. That jam is such a torch that I'm going to thank you with a yellow label. Free bet's fine, but he should just block on that board for sure. I wouldn't have folded a jack to the jam, to be honest, because it just doesn't make sense to do it with a good hand. I'm going to make the dangerous mistake of looking at the payouts now, which is 600, right? So 7th gets 3.5k, first gets just under 31k. Pocket kings over here in the $63 turbo knockout. Start with a small c-bet with the pocket kings. Nuts in this case. And everyone's going mental. Love to see it. Oh my god, he has just went all in. with pocket fours on the flop. I've got it in against 2 players on this board, and they have 1 out with 2 cards to come. How is that possible? No one even has a straight draw or a flush draw. Okay. I mean, obviously, super happy. Oh, he gets that guy's bounty as well. I mean, unfortunate of him server set, but pretty bad call. Cold call with the 6s. 10-9 suited. Gonna be an open. This is a board that we can small bet or big bet. Big bets at a shallower stack aren't so big. If we're deep here, we could overbet. Just gonna start with this size. Works. Jack 10 suited. Gonna be an open. Facing a free bet. Kind of close. Big free bet stat from this player, and we have seen a decent amount of aggression. I'm gonna start with call. Good shot, backdoor flush draw, but very low stack to pot ratio. I mean, maybe this is actually a fold pre versus 5.5. Maybe just call it to 5 bigs. Not so sure. But yeah, there's a lot of ICM here. Now, do I come in with min raise? Do I come in with call? Do I come in with fold? Gotta run it. Got to run it. I mean, I can check call actually. I can check call all in on getting the price. So let's just jam ourselves in case he's queen. Looks like she's got queens. He's got queens. Fold. Fold it. Fold it. Come on, what else do I have? I have a king, right? I have aces, right? Aces would check, actually. I mean, it just looks like king jack or king queen suited. King 10 suited. Yeah, he does have queens. And good call from him. Nice hand, nice hand. I think that was a pretty close spot pre, to be honest. I think I would have liked to have seen, even though there's a big free bet stat there. I think 5.5 is a little bit too big. It is, like, for the depth, 5 bigs is reasonable. Obviously, call up to 5 bigs and then 5.5, a bit dicey. But on the flop, I wasn't confident with what to do, to be honest. I didn't want to fold, but didn't really want to jam. And I think min raise is an okay answer. That was what my head was telling me in game, but then when we call, and that did leave me in this predicament on the turn, where is it better to jam myself or check call? Because if I check and face the jam, it will be 13.3 to win 47, when I should have like 13 outs, 28%, which isn't, I mean, it's pretty close with the price, so I think it is better to probably jam myself on the turn as played, but it's a funky spot. I don't think I should really let it get there. Glad that we got our big tank from queens though. Obviously ace queen, ace jack, ace 10 all folding, queen jack folding. Pocket queens isn't the hand I was coming after with my line. If he has like ace king aces, obviously we're just running into it at that point. So yeah, I think the jam on the turn is the answer, but just whether to min raise on the flop, because again he's bet bigger than he should have. We should bet smaller here, which would have actually given me an easier time, funnily, but just price. He's giving himself a worse price with his bluffs and his values so far ahead. Interesting hand. Good call with the queens from him. It is a tough spot. I don't know if you can see the payouts here. I cashed for 900. Thanks for everyone that railed today.